In Module 3.3, we are going to talk about production practices. One of the things I think those who are relatively new to manufacturing overlook are the multiple ways that raw materials are turned into manufactured goods that help bolster the economy. This is the process of changing the shape of the raw material into a usable product that the consumer desires at the end of the state. These are the 10 production processes we will highlight in this video. The first production process is casting. This is the process where metal is heated until molten, which is the liquid state, then poured into a mold or a vessel to create a desired shape. In casting, there's a positive stand-in pattern for the finished part. Sand, plastic, or plaster are examples of materials that are packed around the pattern to form a negative cavity. That means there's a cavity that's empty that will be filled by the molten material, which is typically metal, and then the material is allowed to harden. After it's hardened, the temporary form is brushed off from the part and a finalized part is produced. Now, molding involves a fixed mold that is a negative of the desired product. So it has the area that is allowed to be filled, as you can see in the picture for number 2. The mold is filled with molten material. In this case, it's typically plaster or rubber. The material hardens and the mold opens, and the part then is ejected. This mold, however, can be reused, where in casting it's typically not reused. Forming involves working with solid metal rather than liquid metal, and involves pounding the metal to make it assume a desired shape while in a solid state. The metal may either be heated or left at room temperature, and the forming techniques are forging, stamping, rolling, and extrusion. In the production process, machining is another method. Machining is a term used for various processes in which a piece of raw material is cut into a desired final shape and sized by removing excess materials. Machining is part of the manufacturing process of many metal products, but it can also be used in wood, plastics, ceramics, and composites. A person who specializes in machining is called a machinist. A room, building, or company where machining is done is called a machine shop. Much of the modern-day machining is carried out by a computer or a CNC machine, where the computer uses the controls to work in a very specified movement to create an exact product. There are several types of machines used in this. They're drilling, turning, sawing, milling, deburring, and CNC, which is a computer numerical control system. Machining is often automated and allows the process or the production to become more efficient. Conditioning is a process that is part of the finishing of products. So once the products are casted, molded, formed, or machined, they need additional work to make sure they are a useful product. These steps include conditioning, finishing, and assembling. Conditioning is the process in which heat, chemicals, or mechanical forces are used to change the internal structure of a material. Conditioning processes are normally used to make a product stronger. Metals can be made stronger through a process of heating and cooling. Other examples of conditioning include a kiln for ceramics, which many people have used. And another example is even chemicals that are used to harden rubbers to help withstand moisture, heat, or extreme cold of a rubber product. Finishing is preparation and coating of the product to protect or enhance the appearance. Preparing refers to smoothing, which is caused by sanding, buffing, or deburring, and cleaning, which typically involves chemicals and polishing. The coating of the product involves dipping, painting, or powder coating. So finishing really enhances the appearance and protects the product. Assembling is the process of connecting all the parts together to make the product. It makes sense. You just assemble it. Many manufacturers utilize an assembly line that mechanically moves the product from workstation to workstation, was invented by the Model T, or utilized by the Model T, and adds the sequence until the product is finished. There's welding, which is a part of this, which is heat or pressure to hold something together, bonding with epoxies, glues, or cement that holds it together, or fastening with screws, nails, or rivets to hold the item together. Process manufacturing is a branch of manufacturing that's associated with formulas and manufacturing recipes. Process manufacturing is common in food, beverage, chemical, pharmaceutical, and biotechnology industries. Production processes normally consist of separating, combining, and filling. Separating is a method used to convert a mixture of two or more distinct products into one. Separation processes are used to remove solids and liquids or remove impurities from raw materials. So the separation process is actually converting a mixture into two or more distinct products. So separating a mixture into two or more distinct products. The separation can be done through mechanical processes of heat or chemicals. Mechanical processes include centrifuging, filtration, and pressing. Heat includes distillation and evaporation. An example of chemical separation is adding alum to murky water to cause the dirt and water to separate. Separating processes are essential to chemical, petroleum, refining, and material processing industries. Combining is exactly what it sounds like. It's combining products together, or items together, to produce a product. Many food, chemical, and personal care products follow a recipe to mix different ingredients together to create the product, which is called a combining production process. Filling puts the packages together in a container. It's the final step. This is where items are packaged so that they can be sent to consumers. The containers are sealed and in sterilized packaging. In this video, we talked about many processes in the production process. Oftentimes, we get a product on our shelf or in our store or at our home, and we don't think about all the manufacturing that occurs in order for that item to be a part of our home or be something that we purchase. In Module 3.3, your work is going to include working in a group to select any product, identify different parts that are used to create the product. Then, once you identify the parts, what are the production processes that are used to create that? And create a simple slide or poster board that talks about that information in class. Please remember to utilize the characteristics of an effective team so that you're sure that each team member has all of the pieces that are a part of this so that your team can become an effective part of the manufacturing process. That ends our video on production processes today. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.